This is VIC Crime Watch for the week ending December 2nd, 2022. In Trinidad and Tobago, an elderly woman was stabbed to death on Sunday, allegedly by a close relative. Reporting from the Trinidad Express is that 66-year-old Patsy Ramcharan was at home in Moruga when around 1:45 p.m. she and a younger relative got into an argument. The 38-year-old woman reportedly cornered her older relative in a bedroom, locked the door, and stabbed Ramcharan several times. Other family members in the home summoned authorities. Responding officers reportedly had to climb through the bedroom window to get to the bleeding woman, who was then transported to the Princestown District Health Facility for medical attention. Ramcharan did not survive. The suspect, reportedly an American citizen, was arrested. In Guyana, a man who was remanded in custody for 9 years before being freed is now suing the state. 58-year-old Jones Raymond was set free on July 15th when High Court Judge Sandil Kissoon ruled that his right to a fair trial within a reasonable time frame had been breached. Raymond was arrested following the death of Gary Joseph on December 26, 2012. He said he stabbed Joseph with an arrow in self-defense after Joseph attacked his son. Raymond was subsequently charged and committed to stand trial in 2014 after a preliminary inquiry. But in 2015, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Ali Jack, sent the matter back to the magistrate for further action after sifting through the deposition. That's where the case stagnated. Raymond's attorney, Timothy Jonas, is arguing for damages on 3 grounds. Firstly, that Raymond's 9-year-long detention without trial violated his personal liberty, a constitutional right. Secondly, that he was subjected to inhumane and degrading treatment while on remand. Raymond says that during his time at Camp Street Prison, he was kept in a cell measuring approximately 15 by 20 feet with at least 17 other inmates for 8 years. Only one of the 2 toilets in the cell was functional, shared between all the inmates. Conditions, Raymond argues, were deplorable: hot, filthy, and choking with the noxious odors of packed human bodies and waste. The lack of sufficient water meant that the men were unable to keep up standard hygiene practices, and he was often forced to sleep on the floor due to the lack of cots. Raymond said he was set alight by his fellow inmates at least 5 times during his time on remand and assaulted on numerous occasions while using the bathroom facilities, such as they were. For his 9th year behind bars, Raymond and other inmates were moved to the Lusignan prison following a fire at the Camp Street facility in July 2017. At Lusignan, Raymond says inmates were kept in an open pasture for their first week, no shelter, running water, or other facilities. While out in the elements, the men lived amongst snakes and frogs following rains. Raymond says he was shot 5 times with pellets by police officers sent in to quell a riot at the prison, pellets which were still lodged in his body to this day. Raymond is also suing for the failure of his jailers to protect him from the inhumane and degrading treatment he suffered during his time in prison. He is asking for over 1 million Guyanese dollars, approximately $4,800 US, on each alleged breach. That works out to at least $3 million overall. A shooting on the east coast of St. Lucia has left 2 people nursing injuries. Stacey Joseph of the St. Lucia Fire Service provides details.
An alleged shooting incident was responded to at Newfield in Dennery on Thursday, December 1st at approximately 9:40 p.m. The responding crew from the Dennery Fire Station were informed that 2 persons were injured in the incident. The victims were male individuals appearing to be in their mid-30s. One patient was found lying on the ground with what appeared to be multiple penetrating wounds to his body. The other was found in a seated position with a wound to one of his arms. They were both immediately transferred to an awaiting ambulance for assessment and treatment. The patients were subsequently transported to the Dennery Hospital for further medical care.
A report from the St. Lucia Times indicates that the patients were subsequently transferred to the Owen King EU Hospital. Police are currently investigating. In Jamaica, the decomposing body of a 38-year-old woman was found in a shallow grave, and now police are hunting for her boyfriend. The Jamaica Gleaner reports that Kerry Ann Williams, a farmer from Mount Airy, Westmoreland, was last seen alive on Wednesday morning. That night, witnesses reported hearing screams coming from her home as she and her boyfriend engaged in an altercation. That was the last anyone heard from Williams until her body was unearthed this morning near her home, reportedly bearing marks of violence, including a slashed throat. Police are now reportedly searching for her boyfriend, who was not named in the Gleaner's reporting, for questioning. Also in Jamaica, police are concerned that one of the island's deadliest contract killers will return to his homicidal ways after skipping bail earlier this week and going on the run. The Jamaica Observer, who did not name the individual, reports that the 28-year-old man is facing charges of murder, 4 counts of illegal possession of a firearm, and 4 counts of shooting with intent, following 2 triple homicides that occurred in the parish of St. James within the span of an hour back in 2013. After some months on remand, the individual was reportedly freed when witnesses did not show up to court for trial. Following his release, he was reportedly linked to a string of other homicides police believe he was contracted to carry out. The unnamed man was captured in September 2020 after police responded to a shooting incident involving the alleged assassin. Following his arrest, several bail applications were made before the St. James Circuit Court and rejected until earlier this year his lawyers took the matter to the Home Circuit Court in Kingston. Arguing that he was unable to walk and needed surgery, his attorneys were then able to secure bail in the sum of 500,000 Jamaican dollars, approximately 3,250 US, with 2 sureties, along with strict conditions including being banned from the St. James Parish except for court appearances and being confined to the home of the family member who stood bail unless for medical attention or court. When he did not show up for his court date earlier this week, police discovered that he was also not at the house where he had been ordered to stay, and his whereabouts are currently unknown.